Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Now, we are going to be talking about something very interesting in a matter of minutes. If you just tune in, we have been discussing some key issues, especially within the New Patriotic Party. We lost connection to Dr. Ikpia and Kwesi Kwarteng. We're reconnecting our lines when we have them. We'll have that conversation. But moving on, the long-debated legislation of commercial motorcycle transport, popularly known as Okada, is set to take effect, following Parliament's passage of the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 25, with the government assuring us that there will be strict enforcement of the road traffic regulation to safeguard public safety. While the bill passed on Wednesday, December 10, will legalize the commercial use of motorcycles, tricycles and quadricles once the President gives his assent to that bill. While speaking to journalists in Parliament, the Transport Minister Joseph Bukari-Nikbe said that DVLA, as well as the National Road Safety Authority, would intensify enforcement to ensure compliance with the new law if it comes into force.
Going to carry people behind you, you have to respect yourself, you have to respect your passengers such that you can continue to be in business. And the good is that the law has prescribed punishment for road traffic offenders, and that includes the Okada riders who will get the opportunity, whether we are going to create special lanes for them or not. I believe as we develop as a country, it will come along with some of these provisions that we will have. I know the Minister for Roads and Highways is very passionate about road development and road design. His experience in that industry is one of the advantages for us as a government. And the government's resolve to go through this big push and bring me more projects, it is our belief and hope that we will have some of the new roads that are going to be constructed to have these designs that will create some lanes for the motorcycle riders. However, the discipline aspect of it remains with the rider. Whether we use the same road with vehicles or we have separate lanes for them, you still have to be disciplined. And the good is that we have a legal framework that will bind you or that would be used to bring punishment on you should you offend any of our laws.
But what exactly are the new changes to the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 25? On your screens now, we have highlights of the new legislature. Should it be passed now? This is some of the proposed amendments for the new bill. Some new provisions in there: reduction of alcohol blood concentration limit from 0.08% to 0.05% for drivers. Ban on children under 12 years from occupying the front seat of a vehicle. Children in the back seat must be restrained using approved child safety equipment. Now, when it comes to the use of motorcycles and tricycles for commercial purposes, they must be licensed. There's also the reduction in minimum age for commercial driving from 25 to 21 years. Mandatory safety equipment standards for seat belts, children, restraints, and helmets. Vehicle registration numbers assigned to owners rather than vehicles. Expanded trade license plate framework to allow multiple approved formats, mandatory vehicle emission testing, which includes roadside inspections. And this is put together by the Joy News Research team, just tabling some of the key provisions in this amended bill. Now, we know that the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, they are seeking to, fully register more than 4 million new and existing vehicles nationwide by December 2027, and the new technology-driven number plate system. The two-year exercise is scheduled to begin on the 1st of January 2025 and will introduce RFID-enabled number plates and zonal codes to enhance vehicle tracking, security surveillance and accountability While the system is expected to strengthen traffic enforcement, some motorists are calling for further improvements to ensure an effective rollout. But the big question we're asking this afternoon here on The Pulse is, what exactly are the implications for motoring, the public, really? Well, join me in the studio now with answers is Justice Kujo. He is Greater Accra Regional Manager for DVLA. We appreciate your time. You've set an ambitious goal. 2 years. What are you seeking to achieve with this new mandate?
Yeah, thank you very much. So what we are trying to achieve is, one, we want to have a credible database in terms of number of vehicles that are in a country. Most of the vehicles that we say about 4 million or 2 million vehicles, some in our register, they exist in the register, but in reality, they are not in existence. Because some are involved in accident, some are bound, or some are parked in the various homes by the owners. They are no more in use. So what we are trying to do is that we don't take record of all vehicles. Two, we want to make sure that uncustomed and stolen vehicles cannot be registered in our database. So people go to neighboring countries to purchase a vehicle. They don't pay duty. They come back to the country, they just fix some number plate on it, and then they are in town. So sometimes you can see one number plate being on 2 or 3 vehicles, and then it becomes a problem that who owns the vehicle. So this registration that we are going to do will also help. The next one is about the insecurity in terms of armed robbery, able to determine who is the rear owner of the vehicle. So now when you register, the vehicle will be tailored to you as a person. So if your vehicle number is used, or your vehicle is used to commit any crime or armed robbery or hit and run, what we do is that the system will be able to fish you out to know this vehicle belongs to Mr. A or Mr. B. So that is the purpose of this new registration.
And you say that you're coming up with a new technology-driven number plate system. How will this system work effectively?
Yeah, so the system is automatic generated. So now the government is planning to come out with a new way of towing system on our road. Now we are trying to avoid human beings sitting in a cubicles or cage to do the money collection. So it will be an automatic system of embedded chip or the FRID system. That's when the camera picks your number plate. It tells you if you are to use the motorway, probably you are supposed to buy a toll ticket for the month, or you should have an amount on your card that when the system picks it, we can easily detect how much you have used in terms of toll. If you don't have, then a bill will be sent to you at the end of the month or the week.
But you issue the number plates, really. Don't you have that data existing in your system? Why do you have to do a new registration altogether?
Yeah, so the current system that we are using does not have the embedded or the FRID system that can easily pick up the details. And then most of the vehicle owners have also purchased a vehicle. They have not done change of ownership. So it still bears the name of the old owner. So on this note, we are trying to put things together. We are doing something we call onboarding. So the onboarding is that all the existing vehicles from the beginning 1995 to the year 2023, we are taking the images, biometrics of the owners related to your Ghana card, and then onboard all of them. So it can easily pick up who is the owner of the vehicle.
I see. And how do you plan to do this? Are individuals mandated to come to your office when this exercise commences in January, or there's a way you can track some of these vehicles? Because some of these vehicles are already in the garage. They're yet to be sold. What's the plan?
Yeah, so currently what we are trying to do now is that we are making sure that all the existing vehicles, with the exception of 2024, 2025, we have started the onboarding. So anyone who has a vehicle which is already registered, you can drive into any nearby DVLA office, and your vehicle details will be on board, and then we carry on the activity. Those ones which is not registered are not part of the vehicle that we are doing on board. So next year, if God permitted, we start the registration. All those ones will be captured.
And I can see that you're also going to be tracking the vehicles. As a user, I'm worried about my safety. When DVLA has my data and is tracking my every move.
It's not about we tracking, but what we're trying is to be able to identify the owner of the vehicle.
Okay.
So it means that you can't give your vehicle to a friend to use for a funeral or a party, misuse it, and drive it anyhow. When the person commits an offense, a ticket will be sent to you in case commit any traffic offense or if there's any unlawful activity. What we do is that a ticket will be sent to you because your Ghana card, your fingerprints, and your details are there. So we should be able to identify that you are the true owner of the vehicle. So as and when and who use the vehicle at that point will determine.
So I cannot give out my car to anyone to drive with this new system?
No, you can give, but you have to make sure that who you are giving will put up a good habit, not to misuse it against regulation on the road.
And then with all the DV plates, what's the plan with those vehicles? Based on this new system that you're rolling out, what's the plan? Okay,
so one thing we would just want to achieve is that Ghanaians, most of us, purchase vehicle by year of my registration. So we are now taking off your registration after the people are not registering their vehicle because they felt like if my car is registered in 2025, the next 2 years when I'm selling, nobody's ready to buy. So now we are taking the year out of it. So now you'll be able to know when was the vehicle registered. It's only on DVLA database we'll be able to tell you this vehicle was registered 2026, 2027 or year below.
But then for me, if I'm going to buy a vehicle, I want to know what year they actually did the registration process. It helps me to know if it's too old on the road. So if you're taking out that data, it will harm me, will it not?
We are not taking it out.
Okay.
But what we are saying that if you still want to inquire when the vehicle was registered, then you have to come to DVLA.
What's the process if I want to require that kind of information from DVLA?
Well, so in the first place, you cannot just come to DVLA and say that, oh, I want to check car A or car B. One, it should be a consent from whoever is selling the vehicle to you. Because our duty is to keep people's information confidential. So when you come, you want to do any inquiries about a vehicle, I will not be able to give you because you are not the owner. So then you have to come to DVLA with whoever owns the vehicle. Then the owner will say, okay, this person wants to purchase my vehicle. He wants to know when the vehicle was registered, what the vehicle was genuinely registered. And then we can give out the information needed.
And there are concerns about the Goro boys in this system. How are you dealing with that, with this new system?
So that is where we are saying that if a vehicle is now aligned or assigned to your individual details, a Goro boy cannot use your fingerprints to effect any change of ownership. Currently, the system we are using, if you register your car 2024, 2025, if you sell the car and you don't do the biometrics of your vehicle, there was no way or there's no way anybody can effect change of ownership without your knowledge. So that's it. So
will this phase out those who do the endorsement and Goro boys as well with this new system?
The endorsement aspect is that there's a new technology in terms of what we are going to do, the endorsement. So then the existing embossers have to up their game. They have to get a new software in order to meet the requirement of the new endorsement system. The Goro boys are there. The Goro boys, we have a genuine one. So currently, my CEO, when he came, he said, one, we have genuine Goro boys who are doing an activity, helping individuals who don't have enough time to undertake ABCD. So then they will use them. But the issue is that they are not doing any fictitious job. But there's a need for us to recognize them that this is a genuine people who are undertaking an activity. So there's a process to fine-tune the way they undertake the activities at the DVLA premises.
And that process is ongoing?
Yes.
I see. Now, there are also concerns, now that you're moving to a digital platform, there are also concerns that there could be individuals who could infiltrate the system, especially the cyber hackers and what have not. How are you dealing with that?
Yes, so in every system that you want to integrate, there's going to be people who also plan to infiltrate in the system. But there's a lot of underground work which has been done. There's a lot of security system we have put in place for people not to be able to have access to the database because it's a national security issue. So things have been put in a proper perspective.
And how will you ensure enforcement, especially because you are dealing with individuals who are working, the working class, they're part of it. So how do you ensure enforcement that within this 2-year timeline, you would have hit your target?
Yeah, so that let me go back and then, as at the year of 1995, we were using a different vehicle nomenclature. We have maybe ER and a number. So 1995, we started using JR or ER and start end with the alphabet A. So from 95 to 208, we exhausted A to Z. What did we do? We then have to move from 09. We are counting 2025. We realized that no, we still keep on changing. A time will come, the numbers will get exhausted. So what do we do? That requires that we are supposed to introduce a new numbering system. So a new numbering system is going to be that a car is registered in Greater Accra. When you come to Greater Accra, currently we have 4. We have Accra, we have Tema, we have Weja, and then now Adent. So now, Tema is normally using GT. Accra is using JR. Weja is using GW. Adent is using AD. So you can have maybe, if your car is 1, you can have 1 JR01. It means that the car was registered in Accra. You can have 1 GT01. Your car was registered in Tema. You can have 1 AD01. Your number was registered in Adenta. Or you can have 01 or 1 GW01. Your car is registered in Weja. Same as Kumasi, Ashanti. So you can have the blood-headed indicating that, oh, AS or Ashanti region. But beneath it, you can have Agona, Kumasi, Mampong, Bekwai, if you just say, and all the stations. So that's how it's going to be.
How would you ensure compliance, especially for motorcycles?
Yes. So now, let's go back to what the says in the law which has been passed. Currently, motorbikes are not registered for commercial purposes.
Okay.
So now that law is passed, every commercial motorbike is going to be given an identified number plate. Now, all the motorbikes are blue number plates. But now that we are going to register a commercial motorbike, motorbikes are going to have a number plate, which signifies that this plate is for commercial purposes. Now, every rider ought to have a license, rider's license. Every rider have to undergo a training for the purpose, the activity that you are going to take. So it means that you cannot ride for the riding's sake. You ought to have a license. As the minister said, each and every one ought to belong to an association. So if you belong to an association, it will help you or to help us to be able to identify individuals, whatever they do in terms of riding. So like the ride-hailing companies, Uber, Yango, and those ones. You can't operate Uber without registering with them. You can't operate Yango without registering with them. You can't operate any vehicle without being a member of a certain category. So that's what the law is saying.
And with this new technology, how much is it costing us as a nation?
To be sincere, this is beyond my level. Yes, so the only person who can be able to answer the cost of these things are my management team.
Okay, but let me bring it down probably to something that you can answer. If I'm going to be registering my vehicle with this new system, how much will it cost me? Can you give me a breakdown of different vehicles and how much it may cost? So
currently, DVLA and the take or our fees are always approved by Act of Parliament.
Okay.
So we are going to base our charges on approved fee by the Parliament. So currently, new bills have been read. Bills is going to come out. Fees and charges are going to be approved. So based on whatever they are going to approve is what DVL is going to charge.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And for people watching, what is your final words to them as we wrap up the conversation?
Yeah, so my final word is that since DVL is undertaking new activity, if you have a vehicle, kindly visit any DVL office to onboard your existing vehicle. Come with your document, come with your Ghana card, would undertake those onboarding. A picture of the vehicle uploaded, and then your database will be in our system when we are changing. It is not now time that you are supposed to pass through a lot of rigor, activities.
And it will officially start on the 1st of January.
So then, for the onboarding, it's already started.
Okay.
new registration will be started early January.
Okay.
Then the new re-registration will start from April to 2027.
Thank you so much. I
You are
appreciate
most
your
welcome.
time here on The Pulse. Now, you're still watching The Pulse. We'll be back with more. Please stay with us.